It is a very hot day, and I don't like it very much because I belong in the snow. So, today I want to go over this movie called The Kashmir. Sorry, not Kashmir. Kashmir Files. And it might not be the right one, but it depicted Hindus getting really mad at Muslims and stuff, and depicted them fighting and whatnot. And what was interesting is that the movie opens with a siege type of scene where the Muslims are under attack by some type of military force, and it has Muslims as the bad guy. Really has them as the bad guy. It was a bit excessive, the bullet scene, right? But it's kind of a little bit of a cheesy action movie, but what are you gonna do? And most of the Muslims get gunned down by security forces, and it's kind of tragic because you're looking at it and you're like, hey, what's going on here? Now, it was in a language I didn't understand. I think the language it was in is called Hindi, maybe, I don't know. But I watched the 2 hour film, not understanding a word, but just observing the behavior of the actors, the wardrobe, and you can kind of see what's going on even without understanding the language, which means it's actually a well put together movie. There was a scene where this Hindu family, they're eating, and I kind of felt like they should have had a better food scene, because how are you gonna do a movie in India and then not have any good Indian food on the table? It was kind of weird. And then there was this crazy lady with a flag who eats bread all weird, and she's some wacky woman who spits and attacks Muslims, and she's some type of character who's always like pointing at Muslims and screaming at them in rage. She ends up dying in the film at the end and staring at the idol inside of the Hindu temple, and she fights off male Muslims with like this torch that she got from the fire that's always burning in the Hindu temple. It was kind of bizarre, really bizarre character. And what is funny though is that there is a moment where she gets smacked, which I thought was necessary because it was kind of an annoying yet funny character. Now, the main guy in the film is a Hindu dude. And I guess he falls in love with a Muslim woman. You can kind of see the psyop in that. Her name is Asma. And the Hindu guy, he's not dressed in traditional Indian or Hindu garb. Okay? And there's this boulder that is coming down the hill, and he's running like a superhero to grab the kid and pull him out of the way, right? I'm talking about the Kashmir Files movie, fam. And he runs past the lady who loves him and he loves her, and she's all like, oh, he ran past me, but she doesn't realize he's going to go save the kid, which was kind of funny. She wears a crap ton of makeup in the film. I was surprised. I was like, dang, can you put any more makeup on this woman? So when he goes to rescue the kid, they set him up as a hero in the film. So in this Hindu propaganda film out of India that's anti-Islamic, you see how they set up the main Hindu character as the hero, right? And there was this couple that really acted all afraid when they saw Muslims, which I thought was kind of bizarre, you know? They really hype up the fear of Muslims in this movie on YouTube called Kashmir Files. The crazy lady reappears again, and she's really psycho. And I did notice something about this film from India. There's a lot of the head bobbing, the hand gestures. I don't know if that's a Hindu thing or something from India, but it is quite interesting how they had a lot of that gesture in the movies. In certain Italian films, you'll see that kind of over usage of the hands and stuff. But they had a lot of that in there, I guess, to emphasize the Hindu India culture, I guess. I found that to be quite interesting. Like they do the hand flip and then the bobbing of the head. So the main character woman, her name is Asma, she starts spying on the Muslims and they're having a meeting. Again, this is in Hindi. I don't know. I don't know what language it is, okay? It's like Hindi. It's the language of India, I guess. And she's a lady and she's spying on the Muslims, and I don't know what they're saying, right? But I heard them say Hindustan and Pakistan. So I guess the Muslims were just having a meeting and they're upset at the Hindus. And she sees this, and she's supposed to be a Muslim, okay? This lady in the Kashmir files. She's supposed to be a Muslim, and she's spying on Muslims because she fell in love with a Hindu. So she's betraying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not listening to the Quran, and she fell in love with a polytheist. She's betraying her family for a guy, right? So, you know me, I'm totally a nerd, and you can pick up on the subtle things going on in this film without speaking the language, right? The acting, the clothing, right? How she goes. And so, they also have the negative cliche of the takbir, like Allahu Akbar. They use it only in the negative sense. And this got me to thinking how this film uses the Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest, takbir, to make Muslims look crazy. I was thinking that we Muslims should create positive usages of this in films. Like if I give birth, I want to say Allahu Akbar as I'm giving birth and enduring my pains. And when my baby is born, like in the future, right, and presented to me, I want to say Allahu Akbar so that the nurses and the doctors can hear me say such a thing. I'm going to make a concerted effort now to use the takbir in a way that is seen as more, I guess, like less used in weaponized propaganda, so that people can stop just associating it with violence, right? I find this very interesting. So that film did have that, this Kashmir Files film. There was fashion clothes of the Hindu, but at the same time, it's like they have modern, like Macy's style clothing in the film, and they don't depict. They depict all the Hindus as soft, and all the Muslims as firm and mean. You see that dichotomy there in the film of the Kashmir Files. And so I guess there's another scene where the Muslims beat her lover boy, and like a woman comes in and tries to save him, and then she gets smacked, and then the Hindu character takes a pot and like beats up all the Muslims with this pot. And obviously the fighting scenes don't look realistic. Totally cheesy, like kung fu style fighting. But kung fu films are actually kind of cool because it's a bit like absurd the way they're fighting, but it's still cool, like, kung fu films. But the way the Hindu was beating the Muslims in the film, in the Kashmir Files, it was like, okay, what's going on here? What's the point of this? But I noticed they wanted to make the Hindu guy this casual, well-dressed, beardless guy, and then these mean bearded Muslims come to beat him up, according to this, as I watched this film. And then I guess, I don't know if he was a security force. He looked like a soldier. He was also a Muslim. He comes, and even though I don't speak the language, you could tell that they took him to question him, and it was his word against the Muslims' word. And then the crazy lady reappears and starts pointing at the Muslims like they're all evil, right? And then the Muslim girl again comes to the aid of her Hindu boyfriend and is like, no, he's innocent and I was a witness. I could totally tell what was happening in the film without speaking the language. But it would be cool if they put English subtitles. But again, what are you going to do? I heard this word in the film as well called Islamuddin. And that was a phrase that the Hindu called a Muslim guy, Islamuddin. I was like, huh, what's that? Sounds like Muslim, right? Muslim follower. And it was on the channel called Shiva series on YouTube, and it had like 8 million views. So I figured this is the Kashmir files, and it's the correct one. Some people said it wasn't the correct one, but either way, it definitely was anti-Islamic. There was also a funny scene where the Hindu guy won't let his lady get slapped, even though I kind of felt she deserved it. I don't know. It's just always funny when a woman gets slapped in a film and like a guy comes like, "Don't you slap her!" And then like as a woman, you're like, "Well, she kind of deserved that slap." You know, it's just cheesy. And again, there was also a graphic scene that had the worst swords I've ever seen. I mean, if you're gonna do a film with swords, please, like, spend some money and get some good prop swords. I mean, come on, what are we doing here? But the swords they used were, like, ridiculous. I don't even think they were historically accurate. The main Hindu character later on had a dagger that looked Hindu style. Like in Hindu art, you'll see this type of dagger. They had that dagger, and the Muslims had these really long, curved swords that I don't think would be native to that region, but they made the swords like ridiculously long to highlight a point. And it showed Muslim men attacking Hindu women and slaughtering them. And it was kind of bizarre, and they have their altars in the background. It was like, what's going on here? It was really, really quite strange. And then, you're not gonna believe this. The main Hindu character, dude, he had one sword and was pushing back 4 Muslims with their swords, which is literally just not possible, you know? He's like pushing back, like, and then he fights all the Muslims and then knocks them down. And he's like such a good swordsman that these Muslims are just falling so easily. And he's like this Hindu warrior dressed in like Macy's clothing. You know, it's just ridiculous. It was interesting to watch as an American because you know, we have, I guess it might be called, I don't think you call it a Bollywood film. I don't know anything about Bollywood, but it is quite strange the way it was done. But the sword scenes were a bit cheesy in how the character was. And so in the end, the Muslim woman Asma, she sees all the polytheists dead. Yeah, 2000 Mix Max, Macy's clothing, for real. And they're in the high mountains, I think. Like, they look where the Buddhists live. And it was weird, because like, if you're that rural in the mountains, you're not wearing khakis and a collared shirt with a sweater. Okay, you dress for where you are. You're not going to wear a tuxedo in the middle of the woods. You feel me? So, they were trying to send a subliminal message by having the Hindu in modern clothing and the Muslims dressed in their traditional clothing. And then some of the Hindus, they had both the red dot and that line thing. And all the men were very, very soft. There was a grandpa in the film. Okay, I call every old person a grandpa, but he might have been the dad. I didn't speak the language. He might have been the dad of somebody. And he's trying to stop his Hindu son from attacking the Muslims and saying, have mercy on them. And a Muslim comes up and slices his arm. And he's still saying, don't attack the Muslims and go inside, son. And his son is not listening to his father and is defending everybody by himself against the Muslims. So you can totally see, as someone like me who watches a lot of battle movies, fantasy movies, you can see the dichotomy. And I've read a lot of fantasy books and stuff. You can see the dichotomy of what they're setting up here. He's the hero of the film. And oh my gosh, it is such a cheesy ending, this Hindu propaganda film. And she is the Muslim girl, goes in front of her Hindu lover. The Muslim guy has a pistol because he can't beat the Hindu dude with swords because he's too good. So he cheats and uses a weapon. And as he fires into the Muslim girl Asma, and she's like, ugh! And then her lover goes, no! And then he gets shot too. And then guess what? The lover slices the Muslim man and he dies. And then the two lovers are on the ground trying to touch each other's hand after they like got injured. And that's the end of the freaking film. So I summarized it as much as I could, and even though I don't speak the language, you can see what's going on here. And propaganda, clever propaganda, let me tell you something, is when you can understand the message without needing words. Alright? Like art propaganda, you can see a poster. I've studied a lot of art history. I took a lot of art history classes. You study it, you can pick up the subliminal messaging in the art without words. This movie didn't need me necessarily to understand it, to know the plot, the theme, the objective of what their goal was. And their goal depicted Muslims as the most savage people. And at the end, they had all the Hindus on the ground. And not one Hindu was a bad person in the film. And no Muslim was a good person in the film. And it was all Muslim men with their beards being mean, and all beardless, skinny, kind of feminized men being the heroes. And so you're like, I can see what's going on here in this film. It's just really weird. Kiddo Star says, Salam alaikum from Indonesia. It's 9 a.m. listening to this while I work. Oh, mashallah. Hope you have a good work day. Wasn't the movie banned somewhere? I don't know. I just heard other people talking about it, and I was like, what's up? What's going on? What's this film? And it just said, like, oh, it's an anti-Muslim film. And I was like, okay, what is it? Let me see. So I found it on YouTube, and then I watched it, and then I was like, what? And I just... Again, that is on the Shiva series channel. Bollywood Fitna, says Israel. Yeah, I don't know much about Bollywood. But watching this, I thought to myself, this is a good example of why we need more pro-Islam, really great acting, like the, Ahmad bin Hanbal series. Remember that I watched a little while ago? We need stuff like that. Like really good productions on that are historically accurate as much as possible, as halal as possible, as orthodox as possible to represent us, right? 2009 Mixmax says, it wasn't history. Kashmir was Muslim majority. This movie depicts it was a Hindu state. Oh, okay. Bastira says, Bollywood has many Crypto J's just like Hollywood. Oh, I see. Very good point. Yeah. This film was, as an American, to watch, because unfortunately we Americans grow up with a little bit too much cinema. You can pick up on what's going on here. But again, I found the film to be an example of what we Muslims need to get to work on to combat such propaganda. Because if they have their narrative, we can do the opposite. I know we have so many great Muslim editors. We got people who can do animation, cinematography, directing, producing. Like if we came together to produce some epic stuff, that is very powerful because the youth is very visual. Our generations right now are super visual, okay? So we create some type of powerful, motivational, visual, orthodox Sharia content, people can understand us, and even if they don't speak the language, right? It's really fascinating. Bastida says, I love what you're saying. Many are on the same page as you. MashaAllah. I'm Bored says, it's banned in Singapore and they actually called India out on the propaganda. Brave considering the country is secular and has both large Muslim and Hindu population. Oh. Basira says money is the issue. Yeah, see, I was hoping like more Muslims need to go to Subscribestar, Patreon, Cash App, whatever payment processor they feel comfortable with, and crowd fund this. I really was hoping one day the Muslim Dawah community comes together, pools their resources, and uses all their editing skills to create positive, not milkshake content. No, I'm talking like we do a biography on Khalid bin al-Walid, right? We do something on the Rashidun period. We do something on the Mamluks, the Seljuks. We go through the Umayyads. We go through history. We learn. We reflect. We educate. We do a whole piece on Khadija, all the wives. We just go awesome stuff, you know? And we just go all out. And we interview like the coolest scholars we can find that know so much about Islam, and we show Islam around the world, and we do all this stuff, and we just wow. We show Muslim women in niqabs and khimars and you name it, jilbabs, being good mothers and being good in their gender roles, stuff like that. You feel me? That's what I feel like we should do. Because if we don't do anything and we're being outnumbered in terms of media propaganda, then truly we will be at a loss and we're not putting our best foot forward. And in today's age, I mean, wow, like we gotta get it done. We gotta get it done. And I really hope we can get on that. Especially for kids, like we need lots of interesting animation. I'm Bored says, the channel Free Quran Education animated a pretty good story on Saladin. It was quite good. Oh, mashallah, there you go. So yeah, I mean, to me, it's just really important for us. Really important for us to see what we can do, how we can do better. And when you watch a film like that, one of the most positive things to do is to be patient, watch it, and then think, how do you win this contest of media competition? And for me, what I thought of is we explain our side of the story and we highlight the virtues of Islam more and more. It's important because they'll have their voice and we must have ours. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend getting a notebook like I did, pen and paper, right? Writing down like, what is the subliminal message and literal symbology going on here? You break it down with analytics and then formulate a proper response that you can post whatever your social media is, counteracting their points, and then, how would you put it? Without having to name them necessarily, I mean, you can if you want, but getting at them and still getting to the message that they were trying to give. Because when I should read the Bhagavad Gita on the channel, because Arjuna was a warrior. Arjuna was talking to Krishna, and Krishna was telling him about why war is good. So there's that. They're not exactly free from war as they're trying to depict in the film. Gunnar says, please don't watch Buzz Lightyear, just in case if your kid wants to watch it. It's promoting the Rainbow Mafia and saying being G is fine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I heard about the Buzz Lightyear thing from the Christian community. No. My kid has watched, I think, so few Disney films she probably can't even remember one she watched fully. I've kept all the stuff away. Sis, have you ever regret becoming Muslim? No, why? What makes you want to ask that? Shah says, Salam System Law, just joining now, wow. Refreshing to hear your words. I'm a performer and singer and have worked in Islamic media. Unfortunately, it can get really dunyawi and toxic. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Sati, oh, good to see you, Sati. Urdu or Hindi or something like that. Oh, okay, the language the film was in. I'm bored says the video I mentioned also showed brutal the Crusaders and how sneaky the Shiite dynasty in Egypt was. The the Boyhids and the Umayyads. Oh, there was a couple more Shiite dynasties. There's quite more than I learned. I'm taking a class on um, Islamic history, and I didn't know that there was actual Shiite and dynasties. So it's like weird to learn. Fatimids, yes, you're smart. Oh yeah, you're smart. Yes, you're so smart, Nejmeddin. Fatimids, dang it, you beat me to it. Oh, you beat me to it, Safawids. Will you come to Mecca soon? Says Muhammad. I don't have money. I don't have money. I saved up to get a bird, got scammed, and that was my little fun money. But Mecca is not in the budget. You need like at least 5K to go to Mecca. And don't you need to have the jabby jab to go there? Have you watched the Lady of Heaven movie? If yes, what is your opinion? I saw bits and pieces of it. I just thought it had great acting. But I do understand that it insults the companions. And when I watched it, I didn't really think that much. And when I've read a lot of Shia literature, you can see the elements there that go against the Sunnah, according to my opinion. Right, I'm not an expert on Shias, but I don't know. I was like, I gotta study more. I have to study more. I think people who study Islamic history and the Orthodox Sunnah, they're really qualified to dig into that movie. But I haven't read Shia Hadith, so I feel like I can't really go at them unless I have knowledge. Will you take care of the bird you got? Oh yeah. I would never get mad at the bird, even though it's not the bird that I ordered. Bird is fine, Gladiator is a good bird, but it's disappointing when you get scammed. It's just the worst. It's such a horrible feeling, dude. I waited from November all the way to I got the bird on Saturday. Waiting for a crimson-bellied conure. These people, they told me, oh, your crimson's coming, it's a baby, we're feeding it formula, it's gonna be shipped out, it's hand-fed, so it's tame. And when they sent me a picture, it was a picture of the bird on its back, showing me the red feathers, and I thought, something inside, I was like, this bird doesn't have that many red feathers, but I thought maybe it's like a chicken or a duck. Because chickens and ducks, they change their feathers, and some birds change their, I have a book on birds, I'll have to find it. But there's some sparrows that change their feathers depending on if they're mating, what season it is. So I thought maybe this bird changes feathers, colors. I don't know, I had never had this kind of bird before. So I was naive. If I would have known or had an expert bird person next to me, they would have said, no, that's the wrong bird. They better fix it. But they mailed me the bird. I opened the box, and I looked at it, and then I put it in the cage. And just Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me this feeling. I was like looking at it. I was like, this bird doesn't look right. It's smaller. It doesn't have dark green feathers, and it has a gray head and not gray cheeks. And where's the rest of the red feathers? Right? And so then when I messaged them, the seller was pretty bad, dude. They told me, oh, but it has red feathers. I said, no. This is, after I looked on Google, and then I looked on their website, this is a pineapple green cheek conure. My receipt and pricing says I paid for a crimson belly conure. These are not the same species, not the same breed, not the same price, not what I ordered. You sent me the wrong bird. Refund me my money. And I want you to send me their check with a tracking number in an envelope overnight with UPS that requires a signature to prove that you sent it, and I can prove that I got it, and I'm going to cash it. Right? You need to refund me that. That's like a $700, $500 difference on a bird. Like, that's a lot of money, dude. They don't just get to keep my money. And then, you know what they said to me? They said, oh, well, the birds are pretty much the same price. And I said, aha! You just admitted that they're two different species, and they're always changing the prices on their website. I remember when I was looking at the African gray prices in December, the birds were $7,000. Now, if you look, this says it was 9,000. Now they cut the price down to 4,000. So this website is always changing the prices of the birds. And so the bird they literally just sent me 2 freaking days ago is being sold for 500 when I paid 1,200, dude. That's a fucking scam. And I told them, like, you literally just robbed me and scammed me, and I trusted you. This is not how you do business. This is not how you sell birds. You should know better. You're supposed to be professional aviary people. You need to know what somebody is buying. Like, imagine you buy come on, man, you buy a pair of shoes in black, you get a pair of shoes in white, you're gonna be happy about that? You'll be like, oh, alhamdulillah, but I needed... Now you still gotta buy the right shoes, and you got the shoes you didn't need. Imagine you pay for a car, and they say, we're gonna get you your car in green, and you gotta wait 7 months. You'd be like, I guess. And then you wait, you go to the car dealership, and then it's the wrong year, and it's the wrong color. You're gonna be happy about that? And then imagine the seller, the car dealership, lies and says, oh, you ordered it like this. And you say, no, look at my receipts. Okay? Look at my receipts. And see what is happening, right? Again, though, when you're dealing with people who are smart, sophists, and scammers, you just can't win. And what they did was, now that the payment is in November, right? You can't go back and dispute it with the bank. And legally, they gave me a product, a bird. They gave me the wrong bird, but it's not like I can send it back to them, because then I have to spend more money to send it back. And it's just like, what's going on here? So imagine, like, maybe this is new for you people who haven't bought a chicken, you haven't bought a duck, or a security dog, or a goat, or a horse, or a sheep. When you buy animals, trust is extremely, extremely important. I mean, you gotta really know, like, the seller, like, you gotta trust them. And I bought my lovebird from them, Uhtred. Now, Uhtred, he's not very tame. He's not a very tame bird, okay? And I thought, let me give this aviary a second chance. You know, I was like, you know what? The bird's not tame. He's aggressive. He's mean to the other birds. So maybe I'll just keep him, right? And so I kept him. And I gave this aviary another chance, and then they screwed me. They screwed me really bad. And I told them, I want you to make this right. The right thing to do is give me the amount I overpaid back. They could send me a bird for the remaining value. They could give me they had to do something, right? To make a resolution. But they didn't even apologize. They didn't apologize. They didn't admit they were wrong. They took my money, sent me the wrong bird. They were disorganized, and it's 100% their fault. And I checked with these people, like, every 2 weeks I would email them. How is my bird? How's it going? Oh, your bird is going great. Okay, next 2 weeks later. Oh, how's the bird? Okay, and then to go through, like, waiting and them telling me it was coming, and then to get the wrong product, you're like, dude, this isn't a game. You can't be that kind of a shady dealer. This is not a joke, you know? And these birds live for like 20, 30 years if you take care of them. And I asked them do the birds eat fruit? Birds won't eat fruit. They didn't feed them fruit when they were babies. And if you have a bird that only eats seeds, they die sooner because they're not getting proper nutrition. So the bird, I have to like hold it and make it eat bananas and make it eat its fruit, and it won't eat vegetables. So this means that the aviary didn't feed the proper diet to the birds, right? And they didn't provide proof of vaccination for the birds. And so it's like, what? I learned such a hard lesson, man. It was such a hard lesson to learn. I could have gone to Castro Street in San Francisco. There's a nice bird aviary over there. But I thought, let me try out. But that's my mistake, man. People said don't buy animals online. Be careful. Too many fake websites. But I trusted them because I had bought a lovebird that was not very tame from them before. But it's just pissed me off. I look pretty calm, but if you were to get scammed, it doesn't feel good. I'm trying to be as patient as I can. I was angry last night until 3 a.m. in the morning. I literally couldn't go to sleep. I was so pissed off. I was fuming. I called them. They didn't respond. They sent me not just emails with like one sentence long, trying to lie. I sent them pictures of the birds that they sent. It just, the dishonesty can really get to you. The dishonesty. I don't like dishonest people. Like when I worked in the restaurant industry, if I got somebody's coffee order wrong, their food order wrong, if the steak was not cooked how it should be, I would feel bad. I'd say, okay, let me give them a free meal. When I would make a mistake at work, I would pay for people's meals. Like let's say you told me salad dressing on the side. You didn't want nuts on your salad and whatnot, but I didn't listen, and or I didn't put it in right, or the cook made it wrong. Sometimes the cooks make it wrong, and if I don't check the ticket of what I wrote and the ticket on the food line, and you get it and it's wrong and you're mad, I'd be like, I'm paying for this meal. Like I have that kind of character. I would lose money. Of course they wouldn't tip, but it's the nice, respectful, proper thing to do. And people who don't have integrity to do good business with their customers, people should be warned about those kinds of people, especially when you're dealing with an expensive product. And animals are an investment. Animals are a serious issue. Like, you can't screw around with stuff like that. You can't do that. So it's still right now, like inside my heart is still like feeling like I have high blood pressure. Which bird is this? The gladiator? The one that I'll post more videos of him. It's on my community tab. And see, let me tell you something. You guys may not understand. These birds, they will be on your shoulder. Like, each bird species has a different personality. Okay? You can train them to do different things. And when they're outside of the cage and they're hanging out with you, it's like it's like you know what to expect based upon the behavior of the bird, right? Like my lovebird Uhtred, if you let him fly and you don't watch him, he'll chew on cable cords, right? He likes to destroy things. So his out of cage time, he has to be watched. And so again, it's interesting to see how people who are not really familiar with birds will be like, what's the big deal? But some birds are louder than others, they're more aggressive than others, dumber than others, shyer than others. And when you select a breed of bird, You do it for the right reasons. Like when you buy a horse, okay, you want a Clydesdale to work, you want an Arabian to jump really high, you have a thoroughbred racehorse. Each one has a different purpose. Yeah, you can ride all horses, but you're not going to put an Arabian to work in the fields as hard as a Clydesdale. Can't handle as much weight. You see my point? I wanted to buy a Conure, Crimson Conure, because of its intelligence. Because I wanted to practice training this bird and making it learn things and leveling up. Now, we'll see what I can do with this pineapple green cheek conure, but it'll still have a different brain than a crimson, which is what I ordered. So some people may not understand, but again, like if you bought a dog, all right, you bought a dog for security, to kill rats on the farm, to guard your corn. Some dogs do that better than others because of their breeding. So if you bought a specific breed and then somebody just mails you the opposite of what you paid for, you're not going to be very happy about it. But again, you know, when you get scammed, it's just not a fun thing at all. And to not even get an apology is like super arrogant. So Flybabies Aviary, never buying from there again, man. And every time someone asks me about my bird, I'm gonna let them know, yeah, it may be a pretty bird, but I still just feel like I got gypped. But that's the long and short of it. And it's important to let other people know. Like, I learned a lot from people who will warn you. Like, if someone will be like, hey, I bought a dog from this person sold me a sick dog, right? This person sold me a dog that had cancer. You know, it's like that. Junaid says, does your daughter also like birds? Oh, yeah. Yeah. She's already attached to the new bird, the scam bird. But, so I can't get rid of it. Like, I'm so mad, I would, like, literally just give it away. But then that's pointless. Spent the money, might as well keep it. Right? Next time, though, only in person. And sometimes it's hard to find birds that aren't budgies. The smarter the dog is, haram to be kept at home. It can be kept outside. Speak with facts. Hunting dogs are allowed. Hunting dogs are halal. They are allowed. Security dogs, attack dogs are allowed. They just can't come inside your home. They can live outside if you have a yard, which is totally fine. Outdoor kennels. Do you know what an outdoor kennel is? Where the dogs have their own place to sleep outside. It's totally fine to go outside and play catch with your dog. Just do ghusl after. You'll be fine. You know? Try having sheep and then not having a dog to help you while you're on your horse to herd the sheep. And then talk to me about it. We're not talking about chihuahuas. Yeah, doghouse. Yeah, yes, I'm bored. A doghouse. But there's doghouses that are inside what we call a kennel. And if you have like a car lot, you can have a security dog at your car lot to, you know, bite any intruders on your property. I mean, hunting dogs, I saw so much Islamic art that had those greyhound, pharaoh hound dogs, and the guy would have a falcon and an Arabian horse, and they would go hunting. And some dogs are faster than others and can catch you a good rabbit. And in the hadith, it says that you can eat what... Yeah, but no, listen. In the hadith, it has rules for hunting dogs. You can eat what your hunting dog gets for you. I read that hadith in Bukhari. So you cannot say having dogs is haram when there's hadith talking about, you know, you can eat food your dog catches if you say the name of Allah upon it. Right? Muslims hunted with dogs. You know? Yeah, Basira says it's also in Quran. Yeah. Like, I'm not talking about ladies who put chihuahuas in their purse and then they put clothes on their dog. I'm talking about like a dog that has a function. You see what I'm saying? So when I say, imagine you bought a hunting dog and the hunting dog doesn't hunt, and you paid the price for a hunting dog, you would be totally upset because you're paying for a trained animal with a pedigree, right? So when I select a certain type of bird, this means I'm selecting a breed because I want to practice training it. The bigger the bird, the smaller it is. The bigger the bird, the smarter it is. You know? And it's halal to have birds. I see so many Muslims in the Middle East with their hawks and falcons, and they race them and they have fun competitions. And the Mongol Muslims had their golden eagles that they would hunt rabbits with, you know. Nazir says, Western people saying not loving dog is blaming Islam is unfair religion. You can love your dog, you just don't have to let it lick you in the mouth, right? So some people treat their dogs way too weird. Nothing ever happens says that's totally a scam. Is it worth it to seek a lawyer? No. I don't have the energy, and you have to pay lawyers. You know, I got all the proof. All I can do now is to let my anger go down, to learn this lesson, to tell all of you about it, right? So that you can learn, like, be careful where you buy livestock from. So this is a good lesson because I want to have chickens in the future, right? Thank you, Sati. Proud to have you as a brother. Have I reported them? If they send me a link for the Better Business Bureau, I will give them a bad review. I put it on Instagram and YouTube, and I will let them know, like, hey, you guys can't be doing this. Word of mouth is important. Because listen, fam, I want to have a farm. If I buy chickens, I want to get the chickens I order, right? If I go to a guy to buy some dairy goats, and he sells me male goats that don't breed, then I'm gonna he cheated me. You know, buying animals is serious business, fam. So be careful. Serious, you know. I gotta figure out how to do it. But man, I learned a hard lesson, man. Yeah, just leave a review on their Google business page. Okay, good to know. I've never done that before, but I should totally figure it out. Because it's pretty messed up, dude. And I'm an honest person. Like, I just, you know, I'm gonna get more mad. But, you know how it is, right? Nazir Khan says, it encourages us when we see Western people accepting Islam, so may Allah protect you. May Allah protect you. Basira says, Inshallah, I hope things work out for you, sister. Really want to hear about your views on Flat Earth. I can't do the math on that. But one time in geology, they presented all this math, and they had too much high formulas for me. And I don't know, it's a hard topic. I'm not really into earth sciences. That's the thing. I'm more into like words and cooking and animals and plants. But like solar systems, rotation of the sun, the atmosphere of the moon, these things are above my understanding. Oh yeah, Junaid, Elon Musk's son now identifies as a woman. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, man. And I heard his son is saying he wants nothing to do with his dad. It's like, yeah, right. Your dad is rich. When he dies, you're gonna be chasing after his money and want to be in the will. No, but see, don't worry. You didn't offend me. I was just explaining. Like, I'm totally fine with me admitting I don't know anything about flat Earth or globe Earth. I tried to learn, and I was like, I don't understand. Nothing ever happens. Are there Muslim bird breeders that anyone knows that we can refer to her? Somebody from our community that is pious and will dear fairly? I'll be honest, I don't know much about this. I tried to find some good, like, bird breeders that were recommended, but nobody knew any. So I thought to myself, I will Maybe one day I can just have my own aviary, right? Get a male and a female, or a couple females, and start breeding, and then have my own, Islamic aviary. But that won't be for a while. Who knows? Maybe I could do something like that in the future since I'm so good with animals. But man, it's tough. Tauba says, Milan, have you seen the water level at Lake Mead? What are your thoughts? No, what is that? Where is Lake Mead? I've never heard of that. Pasita, thanks, sister. You're always honest and frank. Oh, true, I am. Sometimes I'm a little too frank. I get myself in trouble, right? Junaid says, do you have a garden in your house? Well, the herb gardens died because of the summer heat, so not at the moment. I had I think you pronounce it nosturium flowers that you can eat and pickle, and they died now because when it gets to 100 degrees, they can't survive. So there's no garden now because the cycle for my harvest for what I planted is over. Zain Solo says, the Majidi movie, Muhammad the Messenger of God, is really poetic, visual beauty. You should watch it, released in 2005. Wow, I haven't heard of that. Muhammad the Messenger of God. Peace be upon him. That's weird. Why haven't I heard of that? Is that on YouTube? Tabs said, breeding your own animals and having access to your own food is now more important than ever, considering the geopolitics we are entering. Today, Russia and NATO country are at it. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I definitely want to do that with chickens. I just, when my Subscribe Star donations grow and my little side businesses grow, inshallah, I can go to Alaska. Right? Lake Mead is the largest reservoir in the U.S. in terms of water capacity. For real? Wow, I had no idea. Blue says, EF Dawa is doing a 24-hour street Dawa today. How can you be... But isn't there a curfew? Some places they have a curfew. You cannot be outside doing things past like 10. Is England different or something? Because isn't that England? Are they going to let them be outside at 2 a.m.? That'd be kind of scary. Are you planning to make hijrah to a Muslim majority country? All the Muslim majority countries are hot and deserty. None of them have snow that I know of. So I will go to, inshallah, Alaska, into the snowy mountains. That's where I want to go. I want to go back to the snow. I don't belong in the heat. Like today is 100 degrees and I'm so unhappy. It doesn't suit my health. I'm a pale person. Pale people belong in the snow. We don't belong in the heat. It's not good for our health. I mean, only the ladies who like to show all their skin and who are pale are like, I love to be in bikinis on the beach. I love the heat. But me, I'm like, I love the snow. I want to be in the snow. Oh, yes, they're in the UK, says Blue. Okay, you said that book so many times. I wish I could read that name. It's very long. I'm bored says, it bothers me so much that we are close to a water shortage when it pours and floods and there's no attempts to capture some of the water. For example, BC, Canada has been flooding and no one plans to use it. In some places in America, it is illegal to gather rainwater. Yeah, it's illegal to gather rainwater. That's kind of why I want to live in a place with snow, because with snow, if you have a clean snow, you just go outside, scoop it up, boil it and filter it, and then you got water. Wherever you got snow, you always got water. You just need to have pine trees so that you can get wood. Italy is kind of hot right now, says Blue. Oh, you live in Italy? What part? My family was originally from Calabria. Junaid says illegal. Wow, yeah, check it up. I forgot what states it was, but it said capturing rainwater is illegal. They make up laws for everything, dude. They make up laws for everything to be illegal. You're like, why would anyone even think of making that illegal? Some places selling raw milk is illegal. Can you believe it? So if you milk your cow and share it, it's illegal. It's like, what are you talking about? Do you have natural spring waters in America? Oh, I don't know. I'm sure we do, but I don't know. I used to go to a water well and get water in Utah, and that came from the mountains in Utah. Sati says, why is it illegal? There are so many laws in the U.S. Oh, yeah. I swear to you, man, our government writes so many laws. Do you know? Okay, you'll see this if you look it up on YouTube. Type in something like, politicians pass bills they don't even read. They pass these huge, like, 1,000 page bills, and they pass them and they don't even read them. It's called, there's pork barrel spending. That's what they call that. Pork barreling, where they stuff it in, like anything they want to get passed, they just pack it into the back of a bill, and then they pass it. It's insane, dude. Zane Soul says, does it cost much to move to Alaska from where you live? Probably more than 10K. Yeah, probably at least 10K. Why? Because you have to put a down payment on a new place, pay movers, and then break your lease where I'm living now. And, you gotta get rid of stuff. You gotta cancel, like, internet, and you got all this crazy stuff. You gotta, like, moving, you have to get your car down there. I mean, it's quite a lot of work. Stimulus bill was like 5,000 pages or something ridiculous like that. Exactly, Sati, yes. Junaid says land must be cheaper in Alaska. It is a bit cheaper, but there's more farming land, good weather, wild salmon, wild elk to eat, deer, lots of bald eagles to stare at who can steal all my chickens, grizzly bears, moose, right? Lots of things to eat, and good soil. Good soil for eating. I mean, and growing soil for eating. Soil for growing food to eat. You feel me? Mahmoud says, Ramen, are you skipping my comments, fam? Oh, I probably didn't see it. Sati says, protect the chicken. Yeah, that's why I need a rooster and a guard dog. Junaid says, Alaska used to be Russia's land. They sold it to America. Yeah, I heard about that. Isn't that cool? How cool is that? No wonder why, the Russian people like the snow, because Alaska is beautiful, man. Alaska is like, to me, that's like a little mini oasis. That's where I want to be so bad. And they have giant whales in the water. Joe says, isn't it funny that Ukraine has made it compulsory for all adult males to join the army, but nobody thinks that's undemocratic? Oh, the draft? I was talking to my grandpa, was it yesterday or the day before, about the draft. And he thinks it's a good thing to draft, men so that they can learn to be responsible with firearms. They can get around men instead of staying in houses with their single mothers, being raised by women, being feminized, and that they'll learn to be more strong and physically fit and less fat. And that the government should pay them like $30,000, $50,000 after they serve like a 2-year service to the military, and they could pick the Peace Corps, the Navy, anything they wanted, and then do that. But the draft is the draft was done. The last time the draft was done in America was in Vietnam. So not too long ago was the draft something American, right? Zane says, are there still real natives in Alaska? Probably. I haven't researched that. That's a good question. Murtaza says, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum salam. Junaid says, some reports say 40K Ukrainian men have returned to Allah. I don't know, man. I don't trust the news that's going on with that country, dude. I feel bad for them. They're at war, but I don't want to go have problems with Russia, man. I don't hate Russian people. I don't trust what the media is doing. They lied about weapons of mass destruction. I don't trust our media. We don't have good journalists anymore, man. Our journalists are bad people. They're bad people. I don't believe them. You gotta fact check a fact checker. You feel me? Tab says Ukraine is a proxy war in the U.S. and Russia. Good point. A lot of people say that. And I highly believe it is immensely accurate. Because something's going on over there. I mean, America got so much stuff done over there in Afghanistan that hurt the people. We ain't got nothing to show for it. Murtaza says, enjoy listening to you read The Divine Reality by Hamza before I reverted. You reverted? Congratulations! Welcome! Oh, that's so cool! So you was watching my videos before you were a Muslim, and now you're a Muslim? Oh, that's pretty awesome. That's cool, man. Welcome. Welcome to the fold. That's really cool. Yeah, that was a cool book. Hamza, he just did an interview with Blogging Theology, right? Junaid says, have you seen Gonzalo Lira's channel? He uploads from Ukraine. Didn't that guy go missing for a few days? I never watched his videos, but somebody said they thought he got assassinated because he was gone for 2 days. And he put a post on Twitter that said, like, if I disappear, I didn't suicide myself or something. Yeah, I think that's the guy. It's crazy, man. And Zelensky, he does censor people who speak out against him. Junaid says he's back with his new channel, Gonzalo Lira 2. Oh, cool. He created a new channel. He should create a BitChute channel. Salam, ALG Amd. MashaAllah. That's pretty cool, man. What's the deal with Juneteenth? That was the day Republicans freed the last of the Democrats' slaves. So they celebrate that. It's been a holiday that's been around for a while, but old school blacks celebrate it in their really cool way, but they only want to celebrate it now to create more victimhood consciousness in the African American community, to keep making them think they're still slaves, right? And to create racial divisions, and it's really strange. No one in I don't know if you remember too many holidays in the U.S. Exactly, Sati. I don't know if you remember I said this, but all my siblings are half black except for one of my sisters who's half Cuban. So I have a huge mixed race family, and none of my black siblings heard of Juneteenth, and they never celebrated it, and they get offended by it because they're like, we're still talking about slavery. I'm gonna go work on my car. Like, they don't really care. I heard people died on Juneteenth. Is it true? I should read up more. I haven't read on that particular thing because it's not my like, I like reading about battles and like really cool intense stuff and architecture. Niche things of American history I still have to learn, right? So I'll have to see if it's true, but not too much. We have some information of the past, but we don't have that much. What are your plans for Eid? There is only 2 Eids, Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr, and both of them are over. Tab says, the same liberals that give talks on love, peace, and choice, my life, my body, blah, 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 force the jab on the masses. Not even the kids are safe now. For real, man. It's scary. Sati says, Allah Almighty said, the male is not like the female. I always ask myself, why Allah will state that? Allah knows the future. Some weirdos debate what a male and female is. Exactly, Sati. You know what's up. You know what's up. Oh, it's freaky, isn't it? It's so scary, man. Hey, Truth and Knowledge, welcome. I heard the word liberal exterminator, reporting for duty, cha-chink. There we go. Click, clap. You know what I'm saying? What is a woman? Ovaries, cervix, the capacity to breastfeed, even if it doesn't work. You know, the ability to grow a human being, even if it doesn't work. It's amazing. We have a Supreme Court justice that would not say what a woman is, dude. That is the quality of academics that we have in America. I mean, how embarrassing is that? I mean, it's so hard to be an American right now because we're kind of like the laughing stock of the world right now. It's so, you know what's crazy is that we Americans were raised with having so much pride. We're the bald eagles of the world. We soar high, you know, we can do it all. And now we have the circus is just It's like Rome, man. You know, when Rome fell after Caligula and Nero and caused all this corruption and decay. Subhanallah. It's crazy. Murtaza says, yeah, alhamdulillah. I watched you read Divine Reality before I became Muslim. These days I watch your tafsir asali, but I can't keep up with you. Oh yeah, I do read a lot. I read a lot more off camera and I'm hyper productive. Remember, they won't let me go back. They won't let me go back to the campus until I get the jabby jab, and I still say no. I already got over it. I'm fine. I don't need it. I don't want it. It's my right. But they won't let us go back. Eid al-Adha's not over yet? Oops. I thought that Eid al-Adha was 10 days after Ramadan. Isn't that 10 days after Ramadan is over? Oh, dang. I need to check my calendar. Pardon me. Thank you for the correction. Thank you. No, that's Eid al-Fitr. Oh, man. Dang. Sorry about that. Ugh, I thought I got all my dates right. Forgive me. Sorry. Oh, boy. Yeah, so... I don't have any plans, but I should make some. I'll probably eat a cheeseburger and fries and chocolate milkshake. That's my favorite treat, or pizza. I can make my own pizza. I can make my own burgers and fries. But maybe I'll buy one. Murtaza said, do you think the dopamine from social media is why many people don't read today? Yeah, it's the social engineering of the flicker rate and the jump cuts. I have ADHD and ADD, but I can pay attention for a long time because I don't watch too much content anymore that has jump cuts. Philip DeFranco, World Star Hip Hop, Vines, these like 3 seconds here, 4 seconds there, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. That type of moving actually activates my ADHD. And I never use medication for it because I think Adderall is a drug and I think it's bad for you. That's my personal opinion. It's my personal opinion. I don't take Ritalin, none of that. I study so much and I put my energy somewhere else. But I do recognize how TikTok and Twitter, they really get you in this mindset, this digital consciousness. And if you don't break free from that, or you don't watch out, you can get your dopamines in a really bad way. Really bad way. You have to have balance. For real, for real. Eid al-Fitr is after Ramadan. Eid al-Adha is next month. Oh, whoops. I don't know why I got that confused. That's quite strange. That's weird. Joe says, I don't get what they them means. It means people who have mental illness and they're pretending biology isn't real and they're trying to force you to agree with them. Eid al-Fitr is after Ramadan. Eid al-Adha is next month. Sorry, I made a mistake regarding Eid, not you. Oh, I see. There you go, fam. We're all learning. We're all learning. But yeah, I'll just try to have some good food. Maybe I'll have my kid make some decorations and we'll have some fun with it. You feel me? That'll be nice. Alright fam, I'm gonna cook some pasta. I got this new pasta sauce here. Sometimes I make my own pasta, but I bought this pasta sauce. Lucchini. I haven't had a pasta sauce with golden tomato. So when I saw this in the store, I said, let me try that. And I got some organic, I think it's the spaghetti. They didn't have angel hair or capellini. And I didn't want fettuccine or linguine. So I got spaghetti to make pasta with. I want to buy a pasta machine so I can make my own pasta, but I don't have the money right now. There's a YouTube channel called New World Order Resistance Team. Those guys are talking about robotoid clones being created by elites. They saw Wendy Williams as one such clone, also Biden. That's above my understanding. I know they have the capacity to clone. I know that China does a lot of research with clones, especially concerning animals. I don't want to eat a cloned animal. I want a regular animal. But somebody said if you clone humans, how would you get them to be the same age? Because to clone somebody, you'd have to put them in a womb and then give birth. I don't know. I have never studied cloning because that deals with genealogy, genetics, chemistry. Too much math for my brain. Alaikum salam, Afro Abbott. You know, Eid al-Adha is to celebrate Ibrahim alayhi salam's sacrifice. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Alright, fam. I gotta get cooking. It's a hot day. I was gonna have like something cold to eat, but I only want pasta. You know us pasta eating peeps. We gotta eat some pasta, MashaAllah. So you have a good day. Hope you're doing well. Be in good health. If you like, on my subscribe store, www.subscribestar.com/Milahan archive, I always link to it in my description box of my videos. I do blog posts over there, and it's like you pay $5, you see my blog posts, you can tip and support the channel or whatever. I do cool community posts over there, similar to the kind that I post on YouTube, a little bit more like longer essay format. So if you like reading that kind of stuff, I highly recommend that you check that out, because I'm going to be putting more stuff on there, writing more on there, and I post like every 4 days, like 2, 3, 4 posts, so you can get to know me and have nerdy questions and stuff. So that sounds like something you'd be interested in. Check it out. You never know, you might like it. MashaAllah. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. So take care, fam. I gotta get cooking. Gotta go in the kitchen. May Allah give you all abundance. Thanks, Sati. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye.